I'm Jane. I love history and storytelling.
My name is Bert. I love the technical side of paranormal investigations. With both of us having lifelong interests in the supernatural, as well as early childhood encounters, we decided to begin studying it a bit further.
Together, we gather lore from Texas history and use modern science to investigate the paranormal. Because you can't have one without the other. Unearthly, history and paranormal investigation.
Marfa, Texas, is located 60 miles north of Mexico near the Chihuahua Desert. This beautiful desert terrain sits in Presidio County, but it's also known as the Trans-Pecos area of Texas. Sometimes it's also known as the Texas Badlands. The movie Giant was filmed at the Hotel Paisano in 1956. The movie No Country for Old Men was shot in Marfa in August of 2006. In August of 2013, the TV show 60 Minutes covered Marfa as, quote, the capital of quirkiness. 2,000 people live in Marfa, Texas. Marfa sits in Presidio County. Presidio is Spanish for fort. There's really only two cities in Presidio County, Marfa and Presidio. But Presidio County is also home to 6 unincorporated areas and 5 ghost towns. The land was settled in the 1500s. In the 1880s, the land was open settlement due to the railroads going between Alpine and Marfa. It was considered good ranching country, and the railroads made it easier to transport cattle to market. In 1883, Marfa was founded as a railroad water stop. In the 1910s, refugees of the Mexican Revolution migrated to Presidio County from Chihuahua as the battles moved into northern Mexico. In 1917, the U.S. Army created several posts in Presidio County. Marfa was the headquarters for the Big Bend Military District. In 1916, Hallie Stillwell and her family witnessed the Marfa lights. At first, they thought it was a campfire from nearby people. As they continued to look into the Chinante Mountains, the light began to split in half and move around. Hallie later referred to what she saw that night as ghost lights. In 1943, a man named Fritz Kahl, stationed at the Marfa Army Air Force Base, also witnessed the lights. He was quoted as saying, "When we saw the Marfa lights for the first time, there was no vehicular traffic at night. Fuel was rationed. Lights themselves were a phenomenon in those days because there were no lights. When the moon is out, it's beautiful, and when it's not, it's so dark it's awesome. We saw something that was totally foreign to anything or anyone in that area." King of the Hills episode of Mice and Little Green Men referenced the Marfa lights in 2002. And in 2019, The Simpsons episode Mad About the Toy also featured the mysterious Marfa ghost lights. Dr. Avinash Rangra of Sul Ross University was quoted as saying, "We know the lights are out there. We know it's something of natural origin. It's not man-made. But the next question is, how do you explain it?" While many people have tried to explain the Marfa lights, most lifelong residents, when asked what they think, say it's a mystery and they would prefer it to stay that way. For example, a lady named Julia Plumley, daughter of Robert Reed Ellison, the first man to record seeing the Marfa lights in 1883, said, "Let's don't find out what they are. Let's leave them a mystery." And Hallie Stillwell said, "I'm not going to try to solve it. I'm going to be content with ghosts and let ghosts take care of them." So here's some stuff that I came up with when I was researching the Marfa mystery lights of Marfa, Texas. Typically the lights begin appearing around dusk in that area.
actually 2 years before the first car was like even built.
That's correct. So you might see mysterious orbs of light suddenly appear above the desert foliage. These balls of light may remain stationary as they pulse on and off with intensity varying from dim to almost blinding brilliance. Then again, these ghostly lights may dart across the desert or perform splits and mergers. Colors are usually yellow to orange, but other hues, including green, blue, and red, are also seen. Marfa mystery lights usually fly above desert vegetation, but below background misses. And that's from James Bunnell's article, Strange Lights in West Texas. So the first historical record was in 1883 when this guy named Robert Reed Ellison saw a flickering light while he was driving cattle through Paisano Pass and thought, okay, this is probably just somebody's got to camp out, most likely some Native Americans or Apaches around that area. So he asked some other settlers about it the next day if they'd ever seen the lights. They went to go investigate it, and there was nothing there. No evidence of a campsite, no burned relics, nothing that would have pinpointed to, okay, that's where these lights were coming from the night before.
Wow.
And then in 1885, this couple named Joe and Ann Humphreys reported seeing the lights. There's also a lady named Cecilia Thompson who wrote a book, The History of Marfa, 1535 to 1946, and she talks about how many times the lights have appeared over, the period of time that Marfa's been alive. Since Marfa is one of the older towns in Texas, it's got a pretty varied and wide history. And there's a lot of people that are skeptical about it. The first thing people think is that it's just atmospheric phenomenon that's happening. So it's a skeptic Brian Dunning notes that the designated view park for the lights, a roadside park on the south side of US Route 90, about 9 miles east of Marfa, is at the site of Marfa Army Airfield, where tens of thousands of personnel were stationed between 1942 and 1947, training American and Allied pilots. The massive field was then used for years as a regional airport with daily airline services. Since Marfa Army Airfield and its satellite airfields are each constantly patrolled by sentries, they consider it unlikely that any unusual phenomenon would remain unobserved and unmentioned. According to Dunning, the likeliest explanation is that the lights are some sort of mirage caused by a sharp temperature gradient between warm and cold layers of air. Marfa's at an elevation of 4,688 feet above sea level, which that's really weird. I don't know why I always think about it being lower than sea level, but it's that far above sea level.
Wow.
And the temperature differentiates between 40 and 50 degrees Fahrenheit. It's between high and low temperatures. That's pretty common around there. The other one, and I'm not going to read so much on this one because I got feelings on this one. A lot of people say it's car lights.
Yeah.
A car light would, if it was a headlight and a tail light, they would stay the same distance across whatever viewing plane you're looking at. But these lights don't stay like they're moving in concert with one another. Like even if it was a caravan of cars, you would still see them approximately the same distances apart. But again, the stuff that we've looked up on YouTube, you can see them merge and collide and get bigger, and like a couple of them almost look like fires coming up from the ground.
Yeah, some like light streaks too.
But there was a scientist that had researched the Marfa lights phenomenon, and he believed that it was from tectonic plates rubbing together underneath the surface. I could probably buy that as far as scienciness goes. I think that's...
Or the plasma.
But you know what ghosts are made out of? Plasma.
Exactly, that's why we're going there.
Plasma.
Yeah.
What's ectoplasm? Plasma. I'm of the opinion also that it's quite possibly some kind of indigenous people's leftover magic from a time way, way before us. That's my big feels on it.
spot. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
What?
It was built the same year as the Driscoll.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 1886. And this was the third place where the county seat of Presidio County was. Third and final. That's an actual human. That's cool. They have like a divided balcony up there because it's all like a courtyard.
So we just got to the Marfa Lights viewing spot, and we're already seeing some crazy action, like across the, like, it's a little hazy, but I'm gonna get the tripod set up and everything, so.
You can definitely see something. Like it's above where cars should be.
There it is.
Wow, I know, I see it.
That is way too high. Can I zoom in any farther?
I don't know. But that's so wild.
I'm glad I got it. We're out here at the viewing area, and it's kind of cloudy. It's been raining on and off all day, and there's another storm coming up.
The light on.
Yeah, but we're actually seeing the lights through it.
Getting the light show.
Yeah. I'll zoom in. There's the radio tower that you can see blinking. But to the right of that, if you look towards, that is the cloud right there, but if you look at that line towards the center of the screen, that is a mountain range, and they're supposed to come out. There's one. There's two. Those are closer to the ground, so they might be. Nope, they're staying still. Yeah, there's pulse. Oh, there's that lightning. Okay, so there's been a bunch of orbs towards the top of the line, the mountain range. Oh, there's one. I can't believe this is like a real thing. And again, we've.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Where is that? Oh, I see it. I see it on the camera. I'm sorry if it's windy. I'll try to block that. I'm trying to block that so you can hear us. And that one just keeps going. Oh, there's another one at the top.
Oh, great girl. She just showed up.
Yeah. It's right above that tower. You can see that radio tower right above it. There's that wild little orb. What the fuck? Okay, again, that one there, that bright blinking one is the radio tower. It's starting to get a little hazier over there. Oh, hey. Oh, there's a few. That one at the top, though, there is no.
She's kicking it up there.
Right above the radio tower, there is no reason for that one to be there. So they could be. What was speculated, Ben?
They said it could be certain geographical conditions. It could be tectonic plates shifting and creating friction. There's the cars one, but you see my eyebrow raise? It's not coming. We don't think it's coming with cars.
Yeah, there's been scientists that literally studied this for decades, and I think they would. Oh,
Well, and it was visible 2 years before cars were even a thing.
yeah.
So, there goes the dynamite. I'm not above thinking it's aliens.
I'm not either. Or there's conspiracy theories of people that are like so into this mystery lights that they're actually making these lights happen within the mountain range themselves.
Cool.
And, you know, that's dedication right there.
That is.
Again, that is the radio tower blinking
Oh, there's some like...
to the right.
Yeah.
Man, this camera's amazing.
My personal favorite conspiracy theory that I'm digging with it right now is it has to do with the Air Force Base that's out here, and apparently there was some kind of like chemical testing on the people that worked there or that habitated there or something. Ooh, there was more lightning. But that's just me loving Marvel comics and loving storylines like that. So there's that.
It was a beautiful sunset. Let's get a little bit of the after. And we looked it up, and, you know, of course, everybody's time was, you know, 8:30 and beyond. Somebody said 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. is the best time to see them, but we started seeing it, so we had to jump out.
Right off the bat.
That radio tower is a good, like, just a good spot to
Magic eye for
yeah, you kind of look around there, and if you see other lights, and there's another one,
wow.
and they never stay.
And then it just disappears.
Oh, there it goes, yeah.
No rhyme or reason.
And if it was a car, it would be moving. And again, there's no roads up there. That's a freaking mountain range. Man, I'm glad we've actually captured footage. We got evidence of this. Look at that, 2 of them.
Yeah, hey girls.
On a cloudy, super cloudy night.
How you living? We saw the Marfa lights.
Wow.
Ooh.
I got that. This is like really cool. It's like 2 different kinds of light shows. Oh, there's one like really. Oh, that might be a car. It's so low to the ground.
Do you think the people that live in the mountains that create the Marfa lights try to compete with the lightning?
So bright. I'm sorry if this is like disappointing to you, but look at that. I got him right in the center. Oh, yeah. Okay, we were packing up and we just could not. Whoa, okay.
Whoa.
We keep seeing they're just getting brighter and brighter. And there's, yeah, we think they're probably reacting to the lightning energy around here. So I'm setting the tripod on top of the car. Oh my God, it's so bright. And you'll notice them, the higher they are, it seems like the brighter they get. It's a car driving by. You can see the radio tower we were looking at earlier. And, ooh. And we're zooming in crazy far right now, so excuse the blurriness. They're so bright and so steady. That one's like got like that one's the one that changes colors. It's like white and red.
But if that was a car light, that would be a huge damn car light to be that big from this far away.
This far away, yeah. If that's a radio tower light and it's the same size, and it's not moving. It's like, oh, it's going in circles. That is like going in circles right now. It's like, oh, I thought I just saw something in the grass. It's my eyes playing tricks. Marfa Mystery Lights, you crazy. Oh, wow. Are you filming with your phone? Oh, that's right. Wow. And I would like it. I know this video is not doing it justice, but these things are bright. Like, I didn't think like such a small light would be so bright. Whoa, yeah. You can almost see it lighting up the things around it. Man, it's a lot of activity right there to the right of the radio tower. Oh, there's two over there. Okay, that's the radio tower. Okay, there's the radio tower. Okay, I'm just going to keep the radio tower slightly on screen so you can use that as a reference. As where the skyline is. It's kind of hard to see now. Whoa. And they're even. That's the first time I've seen them like even. Ladies and gentlemen, the Marfa lights.
A little bit of a Jane rant while we watch the lights while we're packing up and everything. You know, I think there is some validity to the tectonic plate theory, because when plates on the earth rub together, they create friction. They create things like tsunamis, earthquakes, power outages, floods, this, that, and the other. And what's to say they don't create light energy too? And what's to say that light energy isn't somehow tied with the spiritual world? I think this is one of those weird opportunities in life we're getting to witness where science and faith might be walking hand in hand a little more than we're acknowledging. It's like both of them are a little bit right. And I'm not fully ruling out aliens either.
Yeah. The indigenous people though, like...
Whoa, biggin'!
Ooh, I can see that.
But there's some
whoa, that's real high,
yeah,
too.
And it's real bright.
That is so bright. That looks like a fucking spotlight.
There's some kind of old magic in this world, in this area you can feel when you're out in the desert.
Yeah, you can see the radio tower.
Girl.
It's like right above it. And the radio tower is so high.
This is just blowing my mind. Like, I can't really talk unless it's just a rant.
And like, oh, that one shot down. Oh, there it goes up again.
Holy shit, what is that? It's almost like it's hovering above the radio tower.
Holy shit. It's like sizing it up.
Yeah.
It looked like, oh, whoa, it went away again.
Right. It was like it was a deer and it bowed up to another deer.
That was so bright, too.
Whoa, girl.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they react to the lightning.
Yeah, I'm sure the electricity in the air right now is
It's all
gotta
the same
be.
thing.
Yeah, it's gotta be it. At least like helping it. There it is again.
Good Lord.
I love that the radio tower's there because it's a good just like reference. That one's moving again too. What the?
And then just disappeared.
I hope you guys can see this. I need to like study this camera because the movement's probably not easy to see.
I apologize for the Blair Witch footage of the Marfa lights, but damn!
I don't like what I've seen online. It's hard to get any kind of good footage.
It's just so far away. But it's so big.
Luckily, that radio tower is like how you can see it moving
Yeah.
around the radio tower.
That's wild.
That was crazy. Oh, there it is again.
Back for more. Hey, girl.
Why would it be that visible? I wonder why they come to Marfa.
Why not?
Oh, it just dove down to it again.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen this. I gotta get this on like the roof again.
Okay.
The camera is now steady. That blinking light is the radio tower. Now you can see if any light moves, it's moving on its own. And they've been going crazy over there. I'm gonna try and zoom in as far as I can. Holy shit, yeah. Okay. Try and zoom in a little bit more, maybe. Wow, this thing just keeps zooming. Okay. We are now steady cam. Wow, look at that. If those lights move, it is not me, it's them. And they've been moving a lot. It's brighter than the freaking radio tower right now. And it's just gonna go away, it's not moving. It's just gonna fade away, there it goes. Okay, that's me moving the camera. Try and zoom out. Oh, yeah. Okay, I like this view. Okay, that little dot is the radio tower, as you see.